In this video, we're going to learn how to become an employer. So we'll start by clicking on Become Employer. Now the first thing you'll notice is that we're already signed in. In this case, we're using MetaMask. Now what we're going to do is associate this profile with this account on the Ethereum blockchain. And anytime you write to the Ethereum blockchain, it requires that you pay a small fee in Ether. So it's important that you double or triple check your work before you press send, because every edit is going to require a small fee. So let's go ahead and get started. In this example, we're going to be a company called Major Marketing Incorporated. So we'll start by typing in our name and our email. And our country and state. And if you have a GitHub or LinkedIn profile, you could associate it by clicking right here. And now we'll type in a quick bio with our contact information. Now before we press send, let's double check that everything is exactly how we want it. Okay, now we're ready to press send. Now MetaMask is going to ask us to confirm our transaction. Remember, this fee is going to the Ethereum network, not to Ethlance. And remember, this is the max transaction fee. You're not necessarily going to be charged this full amount. Now it's already set up for you. But if you're curious how this works, the way that it works is that you supply a certain amount of gas that you're willing to spend on this operation. If the operation requires more gas than you have supplied, then it will have spent all your gas and the execution will not have finished. Therefore, it is best practice to oversupply the amount of gas that you're going to use so that your execution will for sure complete and you'll have gas left over. So that's why this is the max transaction fee. You're not necessarily going to spend all of this, but rather this is well over the amount that you're going to need to execute this operation. So now let's go ahead and press accept. Now if we scroll up to the top, you'll see that it's loading. This can take anywhere from a few seconds to a few minutes as we're waiting for the Ethereum blockchain to apply the next block. Okay, great, we're all set. You'll see that our name is now associated with this account and our profile is all set up. If you're curious how much we spent on that transaction, you can click on MetaMask and then click on the more information here on this transaction. You'll see that we spent about 1/4 of the amount that we supplied. Now that our employer profile is set up, we can create our first job. So let's go over here on the left where it says My Jobs. In order to create a new job, we simply click New Job. In this example, I'm going to create a translation job. I need somebody to translate a brochure from English to German. The category is going to be translation, and I can choose how I want them to be paid. In this case, it's going to be a fixed price, and I'm going to change it to be in US dollar since it's more stable than Ether at this point in time. And I'm going to set a budget for $50. The experience level can be beginner. I'm going to estimate that it's going to be hours or days, and it's going to be a part-time job. I only need one freelancer, and the language is going to be English. So the skills are going to be translate English to German. And I'm going to type in a quick job description. If you already put your contact information in the employer profile, they'll be able to find it there, but just in case, you may want to add it again in the job description. Now remember, since we have to pay to apply this to the blockchain, it's a good idea to double check that you have everything exactly how you want it. Okay, now we're ready, so we're going to press send. we'll confirm our MetaMask transaction. If we scroll to the top, we'll see that it's loading. And again, this can take anywhere from a few seconds to a few minutes. Okay, great. We're all set. So now that I've created my job, which I can see here, it would be nice to invite some candidates. So let's go over to find candidates. In this case, the main skill I'm looking for would be English to German translation. I can also adjust some of the filters over here on the left. But here it looks like there's a few people that can translate English to German. I'm going to invite John Doe to this project. So I'm going to click on his profile and scroll down to Write Invitation. I'm going to choose the job I want to invite him to, which in this case is Translate Marketing Brochure. And I'm going to type in some text. And now I'm going to press Send. MetaMask is going to ask me to confirm my transaction. I'm going to press Accept. And I'm going to wait anywhere from a few seconds to a few minutes for this to apply. Great, our invitation is sent. And you see here that if I return to the job profile, it'll say that John Doe has been invited. Once you've created your job, it could be a few hours or possibly a few days before you get any proposals. In this case, we're going to suppose that I've already gotten 2 proposals. So as you can see here, I have one from this person named Kevin and one from John Doe, the person I invited. So I'm actually going to go ahead and accept John Doe because I know who he is. So I'm going to click on this guy. And as you can see, I can accept the proposal here, or I can tap Send Message to send another message if I want to ask more information. I could have also used his contact information. I'm going to say Accept Proposal. I'm going to type in a message. I'm going to click on Close Hiring for this job. And I'm going to click Hire. I'm going to accept the transaction via MetaMask. And I'm going to wait for the next block to be applied. Okay, great. We've hired him.